fan off so you guys don't have. It's still people. We're getting up and it's in the 20s in the mornings. We I think 3 days ago was our last frost, so we haven't been able to do a whole lot. Plus, on top of that, it's been raining and spitting snow and sleet and shit at times because of the. It's so cold. It's still so cold. I mean, I think today is a high of like maybe just a little bit in the 40s, if it even hit the 40s up here in northeastern Ohio. Uh, but I was watching something, folks, and the video will be in my on my community button. If you go to, or no, you know what? I'll leave it in the description, not my community button. I'll leave the video in my description uh, when I download this. But the video is showing Elon Musk's last SpaceX rocket that took off. People, I have been seeing that same kind of crap since the early 60s. Or not the early 60s, the late 60s, early 70s. I seen so many of those rockets take off and do that same crap. It doesn't even look any different other than the video was in black and white before, and some of it was in color when we got up into the 70s, but not much of it. Most of it was in black and white. Unless the news was covering it or something like that, then you might see it in color. But most of the people that had video cameras that recorded these rockets from a distance taking off, we all watched the same crap. I never seen a rocket that they claim to be a space traveling rocket that ever went straight up. And they claim that the reason those rockets are so powerful and the liquid fuel that they use, or whatever that nitrogen fuel, whatever that rocket fuel they use, the reason it costs so much is because of them needing to use so much blast to get away from the Earth's gravity. This is what they claim. People, I don't know. They're erasing your history so you guys don't know this. You guys probably have never, a lot of you think this is the first time. These rockets never go straight up, folks. Never. They can't. They can only go up so far, and then they have to curve. Nobody can get past the firmament. They've never been able to. And a matter of fact, maybe they hit the firmament, and that's what caused it to blow up. Because they've been trying to build stuff, bombs and stuff, that they can shoot up there and break that firmament. They can't do it. But I'm just a crazy old man. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hell, I'm going to be 60 this month. Folks, this video, if you watch it, when I lived out in Arizona, folks, they had the White Sands missile. What are the White Sands missiles? Someplace, it's in New Mexico. In New Mexico, this place where they send off all kinds of missiles from. And it's called White Sands Missile Range or something like that. We used to see it out. They would shoot one up late at night, and you could watch the trail of it, and it looked like it was spinning out of control or whatever. And they would claim, oh, that's from the spin of the earth. I've heard all these stories, folks. They can't prove one bit of it. Used to watch these things. When I lived down in Florida in the early 80s, when I got out of the military in I think it was December of, or January of 83 or December of 1982, I went to Florida. I was living down in West Palm Beach, Florida. That's when they were shooting off the space shuttle out of Cape Cod. Not real far from us, especially when you're talking about a space shuttle, a rocket plane that's going to go up into space to that supposed space station and stuff. And they claim that thing went to space. But they would shoot that space shuttle off with all that power, all them rockets. Go back, I'm sure you can find and see the power that they used to blast that thing they claimed into space. By the time we saw it, folks, in West Palm Beach, Florida, it was flying horizontal with the earth. It wasn't going up. It was flying horizontal with the earth. This story, now they tell us, well, oh, yeah, that's right. That's what it's doing because it's going to use the curve of the earth and the gravity to sling it up into space. You guys will believe anything. Believe anything they tell you. They can't prove gravity exists. I know they told you they could prove it, but all you have to do is give me the citations of the places that have done that wrote out the hypothesis of those experiments. Then show me where the experiments were all done to prove what the hypothesis, either prove it right or wrong. And then show me where all the scientists came together and decided this person was right in their thinkings. Nobody can put that in front of me. But I'm just a crazy old man. That rocket, ding, it went up just like I can build a rocket, do that same thing. And it's only going to go so high as well. And then it's going to curve. Because they can't get through the firmament. They've tried. Thank God they can't, because they don't understand what's above it. They've convinced you people that a vacuum, endless vacuum of space is outside your atmosphere. Well, that shows your education. And I tell you what, I was watching a Pawn Stars today. You guys know who that is, old Chumley on Pawn Stars, that big Las Vegas pawn shop. You know who he is. There was somebody brought in a book that was about the very first book about UFOs. As a matter of fact, it was the book where the term UFO was coined. That book. And it was signed by one of the people who wrote it. There was two people that wrote the book. And these were pilots. And it was back in before Roswell. The pilot that signed the book actually wrote a phrase in the book under his signature. to the person he was giving the book to. It was written in cursive writing. Same thing the Constitution, your Bill of Rights, and all the early paperwork of America was written in. And Chumley had to ask somebody to read what the cursive writing said and explain that he doesn't know how to read cursive writing. He never had it in school. Now, Chumley's in his 30s. At least. And he can't read cursive writing. How many of you can read cursive writing? That's not even really that hard to read. But if you can't read cursive writing, how do you know what the Constitution says unless you read the copy the government gives you or somebody else gives you that's been translated? You can't even read an original copy of the Constitution that you claim your freedoms come from, which they don't. The Constitution was to protect the freedoms that were given to you by the Creator. It's written in the Constitution. And if you could read it, you would understand that the rights did not come from the paper. It came from the Creator. The paper was to protect the rights the Creator gave you. And you all want a democracy where minority rules, not majority, minority. You can't get a smaller minority than transgenders, transvestites, homosexuals, gays. You can't get a smaller majority to gain control than that. A smaller minority, not majority. And that's why the largest majority doesn't even play in your election games and all the crap that man has built and destroyed their own countries with. God loves you. I love you. Seek Jesus. For without Jesus, you will follow these men, these so-called your leaders. You will follow them through the massive highway running right straight into this endless hole of hell. Don't believe me? Watch and see. I love you guys. Jesus couldn't love you anymore. To do what he did for you, for all of us, all we have to do is seek him, build a relationship with him, and we can be saved. Who cares what this earth and this dirt and your spinning ball and your fake space and everything else has to offer? Nothing lasts on this earth for very long. Nothing. Love you guys.